What was the difference in the second half of this offense? What did you see out there?
I said it on the radio already, but Coach Malzahn said before the game, it was one of his key points. He always has like 3 key points that he writes on the whiteboard before the game and he goes over. One of those was being the second half was going to be our game. And like in Coach Malzahn fashion, he called it. And so we went out and started executing and played within the game plan and ultimately worked out for us.
How much do you, as a quarterback, like those yards after catch?
Oh man, those look good on the stats for sure. Those guys are pretty special with the ball in their hand, and they're fun to watch. Fun to watch when they get it for sure.
John Rhys, the way you guys played offensively in the second half, is that sustainable? Do you guys feel like you can do that every week?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the standard. That's the standard of this offense, and we're looking to build on that. And but yes, I think that is sustainable, most definitely.
John, Coach has been saying that probably the most frustrating thing for this offense is leaving the points on the field. What were the little things that happened tonight to get the big plays and the touchdowns?
That was our focus coming into the game. We wanted to be able to finish in the end zone. Obviously, first drive, I think we ended up not doing that, but we came off, made some adjustments, and again, little things, they lead to big things. And so once we started straightening up the little things, it ended up working out for us.
What was the biggest difference, do you think, in the passing game between the Georgia Tech game and now?
Little things, again, you know what I mean? I think I always heap on the little things, but they end up being big things over time. Once you really dive into the game plan and you know the game plan well, with this kind of offense and these kind of offensive minds, it makes it easy for you.
John Rhys, every team's goal is to win a conference championship. What's it mean to start out the conference schedule like tonight?
You're looking to go 1-0 every week, and that was our goal, and we accomplished that goal. Obviously, this is a huge win going into next week, playing Temple, but that's what you're looking to do, 1-0 every week, and happy to say that we did that.
John, how important was it for you to protect the football? I know, like, in the last couple of weeks you had been saying maybe the Rhys weren't there, you wasn't really seeing the field that well, you turned the ball over. How important was it for you today to throw for 300 yards and still not have any interceptions or fumbles?
That was a big, after last game, that was something that I really wanted to clean up. And so I'm glad that I was, again, able to focus on the little things and ultimately protect the ball a lot better than I did last game. Obviously, you never want to turn the ball over. I'm not saying that I'm never going to do it again, but it's definitely encouraging knowing that, hey, when you make the adjustments, when you do the little things right, it works the right way.
What does it say about this team that it dealt with the adversity of the hurricane and the disruptions and the game moving? Hurricane Ian was something for real. As my first hurricane in Florida, I've lived through Hurricane Katrina, and that's about it within Mississippi. But the first hurricane in Florida for me was it was real, you know. And so our prayers go out to Night Nation and all those affected by Hurricane Ian and all of Florida. I know Florida got really hit pretty hard, but our prayers go out to those affected. Back to your question, as a team, being able to rebound from the game getting moved around and all those things, you have to shift your focus to when you get extra days, you have to use those to prepare. And I think we did a really good job of doing that. What did coaches do to keep you guys focused during all of that?
They just told us, hey, we're going to when we know something, as coaches, they were going to let us know. And they did that. But as the time being, we were going to prepare. And so they really did good about keeping us focused on if we were going to play on Saturday, if we were going to play on Sunday, ultimately playing on Wednesday. They really did a good job of keeping us in the loop about what was going on, but also kept us focused on the task at hand.
Was there a play that you executed or maybe a sequence of plays, I don't know, late first half, early second half, where it felt like, man, things are clicking and I really feel like we're going to roll here? Was there anything that sticks out to you?
When you can distribute the ball around and put it in those guys' hands, that can really hurt defenses. It really opens everything else up. And so once I was able to capitalize on that and do that, it really opened everything up. And Coach Malzahn and Coach Lindsey really made some really good play calls to get those guys the ball and get those guys involved. And ultimately, when we did that, it really opened everything up.
How big was Davon, though, in that 51 year? I mean, a lot of guys missing, got you down.
That was awesome. That was awesome. He's special. He's a special player, and we got a bunch of special players on this team. But we're definitely going to be giving him heck because he didn't score for sure.
Coach Malzahn emphasized red zone offense when we talked to him earlier. Went 3 for 3 in the red zone tonight. How big was it to be able to convert on those red zone opportunities today?
That was one of the things that we wanted to capitalize on. One of the things we wanted to clean up from last game is we didn't execute in the red zone. When you look to correct something and you do correct it, it feels good. And so I think that was huge for us.
You mentioned the skill guys getting their improvements in and their big plays. And what about the big boys up front? How do you think protection was tonight?
Amazing. Those guys are unbelievable. We're going against some real D linemen. Those dudes were watching them on film. Those guys are real guys. And playing against them, those guys are real guys. But those guys in front of me really do a really, really good job about really proing it up and giving me time to do the things that I need to do. And, again, super impressed by those guys.
John, it looked like you had pretty good accuracy as well as ball placement that allowed those guys to get the yak and the extra yards. Was there something different about the way you came out today? Was it the footwork, maybe the timing, the play calls? What was it that made you be more effective allowing those guys to get yak?
I think that is the key. I think you hit it right on the head. When you can put the ball in a good spot where those guys can catch it and make somebody miss, they usually do. And so for me, that's always something that I'm focused on: accuracy, timing, footwork, all those little things that ultimately lead to big things. But when you can put the ball in a good spot for those guys, they usually capitalize.
Javon basically dared other teams to play man against you guys going forward. Do you expect the coverage to start changing, and how do you adapt to it?
We'll see. It's going to be week to week. Defensive scheme changes for week to week. But I love it. I love his confidence.
Winning this first game in conference, playing on offense the way you guys did, particularly in the second half. What does that do for the confidence? I know it's been kind of up and down a little bit to start the season, but you guys got to be riding high right now going into next week.
Yeah. Feels good to be a winner. It always does, and so especially with a really, really good team win like this, it propels you into the next game. And so looking to ride this momentum, looking to build on the things that we did, especially in the second half, and ultimately propel us into another win. Thanks, guys. God bless.